keep on calling. I swear I make up a song to count out every time. I should really actually record it and make it our theme song. That would be hilarious.
That would be very cute.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It was very Pointer Sisters. I liked it.
How is your week going so far?
It's getting better. The weather's getting better. It's getting chillier. I like that.
Me too. It's nice. It's finally cooling down in the desert out here. It's quite beautiful.
Oh, I miss the desert. Oh no, not you again. That's funny. Hey, Alex.
Hey, Alex.
I wanted to, okay, so I have these jokes now that I wanted to put on t-shirts, Vanessa, and I feel like we should talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I really want to put "Keeping Scientology Sucking My Dick" on a t-shirt. Now, I've already sworn within the first 2 minutes of the video, and now we're screwed, but I think that's hilarious, and I think it speaks to my voice in this conversation.
That's pretty funny.
I also like
that.
I also like "The Greatest."
That's good.
Of course, Ser-Fac-Tastic in like big like bubble letters, like it's like old Batman TV show. Ser-Fac-Tastic.
That's right. What I decided to call our show today, the Ser-Fac-Tastic Hour, which is, for anyone who doesn't know, a Scientology term that means service facsimile, which is when you're doing anything other than you're supposed to be doing, really.
Is it
something
service
or in the way?
Is it service or surface? I thought it was surface facsimile.
Service.
God damn it! I thought it was surface. Really? Oh, I feel like I've just the whole thing is just unplugged for me. I had an MU. Holy shit! The whole world makes sense now. I had a service.
Because you're always freaking surfacking.
Well, I'm Ser-Fac-Tastic. I had no idea I was servicing a facsimile. I thought it was a surface.
Any other t-shirt ideas you had going?
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of these. I want to put all sorts of silly things on the t-shirts. I have a couple here that are not Scientology related. Like, I make content, therefore I am.
Oh.
And
I like it.
I hope I don't become a meme today. This one's specific for pitbull owners. This one's specific for pitbull owners. I'm more likely to bite.
Oh, I like that.
I like that. And my dog thinks I'm a cracker.
That's silly.
What else do we have here? I don't know. There's a bunch of these. No, I think that's most of them. I keep writing stuff down, keep thinking of things, and then I forget to write things down. All my best ideas are lost on me.
Alex said your BTs are more likely to bite.
Ooh, I like that, right? I'm covered in body things. I was born in a cult, but it's not my fault, right? Don't blame me. I was born in a cult. I was born in somebody said. Go ahead.
Speaking of exciting things happening, my channel, people can now send me super chats.
Oh, do I have that? I think I have that too now. Who gets the super chat? I think so. Yeah, I did the thing.
It depends on what channel they're watching. So if they're watching on your channel, goes to yours.
I have to set up membership offers is the next thing. I think I do.
Me too.
Chats. But then I have to have things to offer people other than nudie pics.
Yeah, but sometimes people just want to support you no matter what you offer.
If I get out my titties, you think that would help? No. I'm kidding. I was born in a cult, but not yesterday.
I was born at night, but not last night.
Hey, I was.
Oh no, Alex says it doesn't give him the option to super chat. That's annoying. I thought. Oh wait, okay. He says yes, it does.
See, Alex is Mr. Misinformation, man.
Yay! Yeah, I'm excited. That's a whole new era for my channel.
It all makes sense. It all makes sense now.
Yeah, I can't wait till you can make merch. You're going to be on fire.
No, I have all sorts of. I've been saying I'm going to put that on a T-shirt for years. I think I'm actually going to do it now.
About the
Scientology
and S&D.
Well, I got to put and then Scientology kills. We got to do a Scientology kills. It's ridiculous that there isn't already Scientology kills t-shirts. Can we make Scientology chats? Can we make Scientology kills super chats?
Yeah, right.
I just want to make sure that people know. Well, because of the psychiatry kills. Because back when we were kids, everybody was sporting that T-shirt that said "psychiatry kills," and we thought they did.
If you Google psychiatry kills, I'm sure you could see a picture of the T-shirt. It looks insane.
It looks no, it doesn't. It looks perfectly pleasant. Like they always make everything look perfectly pleasant and fine. They're always trying to
little children wearing psychiatry kills T-shirts. I'm sure it was a funny sight.
They're always trying to. Oh God, yeah, right. They're always trying to make it seem reasonable. The unreasonableness. They put those T-shirts on nice, quiet, polite children like you.
I also used to run in the Say No to Drugs race, so I had that T-shirt on as well.
The way to happiness. Suck the way to happiness.
Well, that was fun, that stream we did with Poe.
John Poe. He's a trip. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now you can say you know the former police chief of Detroit.
I do. I say that to people now. I know a former police chief. And then they say to me, ask him if all cops are assholes or if like being a cop makes you an asshole. Is it? But I think it is, because that's the same thing with Scientology. Makes people an asshole, makes people into assholes.
I think some people are drawn to it because they want the power too, though. So you might get a few assholes.
The power to bully. I wonder how many of my cop stories I should tell John about, because they're not good. They don't color the cops in a good light.
Well, it would be very interesting. He's not like Mr. like.
No, he's not. That's the point. That's why we love him. But I just don't want to like.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel like I'm coming at him or anything. But like, police, man, they have been mean to me for real.
I'm sure he's used to it. He's probably used to it. So have you watched anything interesting on YouTube TV this week, or SPTV, or any of the channels?
TV. I keep forgetting what I wanted to talk about. I had all sorts of things in my head before we got online. Yeah, I have, but I'm kind of forgetting what I was talking about, and I keep forgetting to no. I've been watching more of the political stuff, I guess. I'm caught up in the Kamala Harris conversation, and I'm just hoping Donald Trump goes away. Even when he loses, he's still going to be this kind of ranty old man in the background forever.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's a weird time, man.
It's beyond that. You know, like I don't know. I think it's weirder than normal. People want to say that. People want to minimalize it. But this guy, the point is that he's just a symptom. He's just part of the bigger problem.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I was ranting about it the other day, the way that everything now is enemies. And the way they talk about the crisis of the border, the way they talk about the border, it's an invasion. And if you look at the word invasion by definition, that's an enemy. And they're not enemies, but everybody's an enemy, and they don't know how to like. Yeah, I don't know.
He has that quality of turning everything into like us versus them, you know.
Well, like no, but I mean, like we were already doing that. Like that was already happening, and he just came in and became a ringleader for it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he didn't invent it or nothing. It was already there.
No, but he definitely like pushes it over and over and over. He'll like. You know, even if it's not true, usually it isn't. He'll just keep up with the rhetoric.
Yeah, Scientology.
Audit says, "What are your thoughts on Narcanon?" Nora was talking about it today.
That's so funny. She was talking like I saw the video. I didn't watch it, but I saw the title was something like the secret lies behind or something, and I'm such a weirdo. I'm like, she's not talking.
No, she's been doing these recaps of the secret lives of Mormon wives. That show.
I know, yeah,
yeah, that one is hilarious. Like, it's pretty funny. But she's been talking about Narconon, and Narconon is a way that a lot of people get into Scientology through the drug rehab centers. Even though they've shut a few of them down, they're mostly still operational.
That's Kirstie Alley. That's Kirstie Alley's tale of and a few other people, I'm sure. And
they put people through the purification rundown, which is super dangerous.
I mean, sweating is good. Like in lots of places in the world, people sit in saunas all the time. But
yeah, but not with those high levels of niacin.
Not with this whole like bunk bullshit medical angle to it. I mean, other than it's good for you. A sauna is good for you, just in general, but not the way they.
I think so. There's not even studies supporting that. Like, so, so.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking like in Scandinavia and Sweden and Denmark and Norway and places like that. They love saunas. They're in saunas all the time. They have a sauna.
I use saunas all the time.
They have a sauna at the Burger King in Oslo.
They do in Korean cultures too, but L. Ron Hubbard was very specific about drugs being stored in your cells, and that this was the only way to get the toxins out of your body. So yeah, you would do it 5 hours at a time. You'd take
not 5 hours at a time, exactly.
Amounts of vitamins, and it was a nightmare.
And it's one of those things that like it really feels like something's really happening because the niacin flesh and stuff. You really honestly believe, oh wow, the toxins are just pouring out of me. But it's all just some stupid.
And I remember like the folklore stories, like someone would be like, yeah, I was sweating out all these paint toxins, so my towel was blue that day. Like,
or people who had done like psychedelics or something, or people who had done like drugs, like getting high again.
Yeah, that's what they would say, that they would get high. They would get flashbacks in the sauna.
I love it. That'd be nice. That would be nice.
I mean, word of mouth is always, that's how folklore is in all religions. People just pass on these crazy stories.
Well, that's part of the gimmick is like everybody in there is trying to convince themselves that it's real. So they got to convince everybody outside. Look how good this is. That was the thing I think that I struggled the most with was like the hard sell, the constant hard sell. It's so good. It's better than ice cream. Yeah. All right. Whatever. I'll stick with the 50s little 25-cent cones. Thank you.
Alex, I'm very offended by this. I would like to be your favorite sauna buddy, not CO Bill, but I see what's happening here.
My sauna buddy. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you would do it with a twin. You did your Purif with a twin, so you did have a sauna buddy, and you had to work out a shit ton every day. You had to do like an hour of cardio.
Yeah, there's a lot of treadmills.
Mm-hmm. Or you could run outside in the rose garden around the building.
Dance with the bees.
Mm-hmm. The guy who did the most drugs created a program. Yeah, exactly.
He would know, right? He would know. First-hand experience, he knows exactly what they all do. That's why he did or didn't want us to do them. Don't take the good drugs. They might, they might help you.
They might have you open your mind a little, and being open-minded was labeled bad, Yeah,
I keep thinking about that, about how like we just weren't even allowed to talk about it, and how like that for me is what I love the most about it, is being able to talk about it and hearing people talk about it and just talk about like what they really believe and what they really think and what they really thought in those times when they pretended that they believed in it, or they pretended that it meant something. But that's part of what I would say qualifies it as not a religion, is that you can't talk about it. Religions have conversations, theologies, they have debates about what things mean.
Or even just it's the fact that it's toxic. I mean, you don't want to talk about
beyond that. I know, whatever. It's a whole, it's layers of things, but I'm just saying on this surface argument of even calling it a religion. There's
people who do have secretive religious ceremonies, I think maybe in different, people do, but it's not like, you're gonna be stalked by a criminal organization if you find out.
Wouldn't that be
the
great?
consequences are real.
Well, according to Dan Brown, there's some Catholic Secret Service assassin hunters in the world. That's in a movie. I'm just saying.
Oh,
that's a bad movie.
a movie. Do you happen to get Tony Ortega's blog to your email?
I don't. Should I?
I get it every day. And it was really interesting, the story today. It was about this lady who tried to sue Tom Cruise in 2021. And then she was like this famous Hollywood madam. And apparently she moved to the city that I live in. And the lawsuit was only dismissed because she passed away earlier this year.
What was she suing him for? Non-payment of dues.
No, it was something so petty. It was like people have been asking him how he broke into the movie industry and the entertainment industry. And recently, and I've even heard him say this, that he was like crashing on Sean Penn's couch. And that was how like he's just kept going to auditions and they were like bros and kind of did it together. But I guess this lady was saying that she's the one that introduced him to people. And on top of that, that he had a relationship with her nephew. So there were some bombs in there.
I think we always gave Mimi Rogers credit, right?
Well, he got her in.
No, I mean helping him in Hollywood. Both
Yeah.
ways. She got him into Scientology, and she got him into Hollywood too. But I guess, and no, Sean Penn. I don't know this story. Sean Penn's a wily character. I don't know what he's up to.
Yeah, he is a wily character. The lady's name was Paula Wagner.
No, I love it, and I love how people are constant. Because he sued a bunch of people years ago for claiming he was a homosexual.
Did he?
Yeah, in England. It was a UK thing in the UK.
Oh, yeah. The tabloids, right?
I guess so. I don't know, but that's all.
Her name was Sasha of the Valley, and her black book revealed that she'd been sending 300 women to working Hollywood names, claiming Gibson even.
Mel Gibson. Ooh.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all the shady characters. It's all the shady guys. It's all the guys we're not
very interesting.
Mel Gibson. Damn, does he still have a career? Is he still a person? Do we care anyway?
I haven't seen him in anything in a long time.
Well, he got canceled. For, I think it was Titty Sprinkles or something. I forgot. No, he
also had that like breakdown in Malibu.
Yeah, he popped off on a cop and he said some really racist shit. And there's whatever. There's that, and then there's also was a Hasselhoff. He got busted for saying some drunken shit. But that's the demon. That's the demon of that beast, man.
Mm-hmm.
Mel Gibson, Tradcath, Sedevacatist. That was fun to say, but I don't know what it means. He made the Jesus movie, right? Didn't he make the Jesus movie? And he made Apocalypto. Apocalypto was fantastic, actually.
Yeah, he is definitely been in a lot of things.
Yeah, Mel Gibson and Tom Cruise have never been in a movie together. Because they used to be lovers. They used to be secret lovers.
Oh, shit. He's going to go there, even.
No, Mel Gibson. He's Catholic. He's all super Catholic.
Sometimes I just put Scientology into Google, and then I want to see like the news stories that come up. And one that just came up says Scientology celebrates 60 years in the heart of Denmark. That's stupid.
I thought they were protesting them in Denmark. That's probably why.
I thought so too. Maybe that's why they have this story. They're trying to like have a PR angle on it.
Oh yeah, Tom Travolta and John Cruise have never done a movie together. What's that all about? That's true. They've never worked together. I wonder why. Apparently, they don't like each other either. I don't think Tom Cruise likes anyone.
Except your boy, Miscavige.
I don't know. That thing is weird. But I don't think I understand
it. It says John Stamos reveals he was kicked out of Scientology orientation for fucking around with the spiritual device. Probably the e-meter or something.
No, this guy, COB, Bilf, is saying that Mel Gibson's from a particular sect of or strain of Catholicism that believes that none of the popes after Pius, the 11th, 12th, have been legitimate.
12th.
No, it's 12th. I don't know this story, but I guess I'd have to watch the Jude Law series to know. But that's what the cantist. Oy vey, I say to this Catholicism.
So Poe invited us to do this weekly thing. Are you considering doing it?
No, I'm never talking to him again. I don't know. I feel like I just feel like just doing this as much as I can. I guess I'm just gonna. Yeah, of course I'm gonna do it. But you can't make it on Friday. Is that right?
No, I can't make it on Fridays, and I'm.
Well, that's why I'm asking you. That's why I'm asking you. What should I say to John?
No, I think you should do as much talking as you want because honestly, this grad school stuff has me like up to here. So maybe he's a good venue for you to be able to talk to too. Like,
goddamn overachiever.
I know, but
you just don't want to talk to
this week.
You just don't want to talk.
We're talking about income disparagement, and it's like such a heavy topic. I still have to watch like 3 documentaries on it tonight. It's just jacked. Like,
no, that's one of those things that's fucked up because perception. Like the notion is there should be some, there should be a low, middle, and upper class, but most people don't understand that the graph is like, so off the charts. It's ridiculous.
And our discussion question this week is what makes rich people rich and what makes poor people poor. And we have to cite all these educational articles and stuff. So that's cool.
The creation of scarcity. Just cite me, Vanessa. I know all the answers.
Daniel Mustard says.
This is scarcity, the invention of the myth of scarcity.
Yeah, that's true. That's a big one.
And like the conservative notion of infinite system, like the notion of trickle down could work in an infinite system, but it's not an infinite system, it's a finite system. So the more you take in one space, the less there is to go around. It doesn't trickle down. Or even if it does, it doesn't. It just allows. But what we see in the practice of such things is that the visual of the tier of the champagne glasses, right? You fill the top glass and it pours over to the lower glasses. But what we've seen happen is that bigger glass just gets bigger and bigger and bigger instead of spilling over, instead of trickling down. It doesn't trickle down.
No, for sure.
But we still do it
like next to each other of what companies used to share their profits with workers. And it was like the percentage of profits shared in the 60s and then 70s and then 80s and then 90s. And it just keeps going down. Yeah. They keep making more money. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. And it's all this, like, there used to be a notion of like company man, and there used to be a notion of loyalty and stuff like that because you were treated more like a partner and less like a whatever.
You could have a career at one company, but now
that has been the sort of the evolution of progress, supposedly in efficiency of business, is to break jobs down into little pieces so that you can hire less educated people for less money to do one piece of a job that one person used to do an educated person used to do all by themselves.
Yeah.
Like the difference between a registered nurse and now you have a medical assistant and a phlebotomist and an x-ray tech, and you have like it's like 6 different people now do that one job.
Yeah.
And that's supposedly more efficient. I don't know. But it's all about the cost. It's all about the profit motive. Whatever makes something supposedly more cost efficient, that's what they do. And as long as money rules the world, nothing matters. So why do we bother?
Good point. Why do we bother?
End of thesis. Why?
Oh, well.
Oh, well. Just, give up.
It is what it is. Did you go to therapy this week?
Yeah. Yeah.
How was it?
Oh, it's fantastic. Oh, it's fine. It's good. It's therapy. It's not blowing my mind, but at the moment, but it's good. No, we were talking about, I don't want to tell a story. It's embarrassing, but it's too late for that, right? But in this neighborhood, there's some I get some shade. I get some shit in this neighborhood. People don't like me, and because I'm weird. And there's some homophobia as well, and that's what happened. Was some woman called me a faggot on my own block last week. God. Because I don't even know if it's true. I don't know if she's making it up or what, but it didn't happen. Once again, she's yelling at me about something she says her kid.
Oh, you told this story about at the park with the dog.
No, this is a completely different thing. Oh. This is a woman from this block.
Oh.
She doesn't live in the building, but I think her brother does or something. I don't know. But this block it's a cul-de-sac. It's a dead end. So it's just kind of this spot where people hang out a lot. So it's not necessarily people from the building. It's people from the building. It's people from the block. It's a few other people from the neighborhood at large. So it's kind of a mix, but it's all, just bored people hanging out mostly. And there's sometimes some drinking and a lot of shit talking. They love talking shit, and I'm weird. And so I get a lot of shit talked about me. Anyway, so whatever, her kid said something happened that didn't happen, and I'm like, that's and I said to her, that's a homophobic projection, because she's assuming she's assuming there's some gay shit going on because there's a gay person in the room, but there was nothing going on. She whatever, they're making it up. But the point is, then she's calling me a faggot to my face. And she was trying to provoke me. She was trying to get me to say something unforgivable or put my hands on her or something. She kept reaching in her pocket like she had mace or a weapon or something that she was going to like I was a threat to her somehow. The whole time I'm trying to walk away from it. I'm like, you guys just hang out on this block. You're bored out of your fucking gourds and you talk your mad shit and you actually believe it. They're like a bunch of incels.
That's crazy in today's day and age that people are still acting like that.
In New York City, in Brooklyn, you don't expect to be called a faggot to your face.
No, so you just get away from her, and
you expect it. You expect to be called a faggot behind your back.
I mean, you were still standing there. She didn't even hide it.
She didn't even wait till I walked away. I'm sure she said a lot more once I walked away. She's
what a rude lady.
It was just so weird. No, I mean, whatever. What's weird about it to me is that she wasn't even asking. My kid said something. Is that true? She just assumed it was true. And I honestly think she made it up, but I don't think she even has a kid, but we'll see. Anyway, there's no inquiry. There's no what's up? It's just this immediately she's yelling at me about it. And I'm like, what the fuck? That didn't even, what are you talking about? You're just assuming that because I'm gay. So you assume there's crazy sex romps going on all the time. Look, I'm not the one with 2,000 bottles of fucking baby oil. It ain't me.
It's shitty.
There's no sex going on. But that's what they're insisting. They're insisting that it's all crazy sex romps, and her poor innocent children have to hear this. Have to be exposed in the same way that trans or drag shows are automatically sexualized by people who don't like that. Who just think that, and even though yes, some drag shows are sexual, not every person in drag is doing a sex gag.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway,
there's a lot of haters out there.
That's the projection. It's fear. It's not even hate, that one. It's just fear. People are afraid of their own. People are afraid of their own gayness and their own feminities. So funny. JD Vance recently called himself his wife's wife. He said the greatest honor of my life has been other than being wife to this lovely woman.
That's funny.
Freud, table for two. That cracks me up so hard because I have because I think he's queer. I think he's a repressed gay guy, and I think he's actually like checking off the and something like that. Just like that's an example of his internalized homophobia of himself. His whatever he referred to himself as the wife. That's gender something, you know what I mean? So
funny. Yeah, totally a Freudian slip.
JD Vance in the suit, that's in drag. That's the drag. That's
the drag show of it all.
That's the drag show. And he can't even say nothing about this guy. Where is he? North Carolina. This guy in North Carolina who's addicted to porn is what it sounds like. It sounds like he was addicted to porn. And then he found God, and now he's all crazy, holy man, and he hates trannies, although he still likes tranny porn. So I don't know, whatever that's all about.
Some people are hard to figure out.
Well, it's just the hypocrisy. It's the doing one thing and being another, or saying one thing, being another, and then just totally trying to defend it. Like he's trying to act like it never happened, but there's all this evidence. There's all this, it's him. They know it's him. It's easy. It's not easy, but it is possible to figure out who people are even online. Mm-hmm. And then JD Vance actually said, "I'll wait for it to play out in the court of public opinion," which is basically him saying, whatever they decide, I'll then pretend to agree with.
Mm-hmm. That's bizarre.
And this is what I think is so funny about him is he's not as good at this as Donald Trump. He's trying, but he keeps telling on himself.
He keeps slipping up a little bit. Yeah, that was rude. This week in the entertainment industry, Janet Jackson claimed that Kamala's dad is not black, which is ridiculous.
No, that's what I heard. I heard they found out that Kamala's dad is white.
So she's watching what news channels exactly?
She's not. She's listening to some rumor mill. She's listening to some catty bitch who's one of her dancers or something. Who knows? These, they hang out. They just, that's the thing about being super famous like that. You spoke to this once about how that's like a whole psychosis unto itself. When you're famous like that and you're so isolated and all the people around you are only people who rely on you and need you for their work.
It's really sad, actually.
And so nobody's ever going to say no to you. Nobody's ever really going to push against you. Dave Chappelle has the same problem.
Yeah.
Obviously, totally. Donald. And then there is Donald Trump, the great leader of this actual headspace we're talking about. He lives in his own little privileged bubble of money, and somebody else's money and doesn't ever have to worry about it. Can you imagine if somebody gave you 400 million, whatever it was? It was 4 billion or 400 billion, whatever it was, some insane amount of money. It's so stupid. And he just
get started. No, that would be a gift from heaven, that's for sure.
It's insane. And he's just pissed it all away. He just pissed it all away like an idiot. And he thinks he's a self-made man. That's delusion, right? What kind of delusion is that?
I mean, look at all the fucking money that Scientologists spend. It's so insane. It's a lot of money. And it's not like everybody in Scientology is rich. They're not. They're just like handing over their hard-earned cash.
Yeah, that's killing me more and more the more I think about how hard my mother worked. And all the while I was taking this sort of like the heat of blame. Like somehow she was working so hard to feed me. And okay, but mostly she was working for them.
Yeah.
That infuriates me. That's insane. But that's what
did she do in the Sea Org?
I don't know, to be honest. I know that she was at one point, she was the whatever in charge of the nursery because she tells that story about almost losing a kid. I don't know what else, to be honest. I'm sure she talked about it, but I don't know. I didn't want to know. She was very proud of her time in the Sea Org and she wanted to go back, but she never did. Or she said she wanted to go back.
That's crazy.
But she was a weird person. She always said that she wanted her ashes scattered, and then when she died, she put it in her will or something that we were supposed to keep them, which I think is funny. Like, where did that come from? And that's not a big deal, but it's just like that's exactly the opposite of what she's always said all my life. But whatever. She got old and she got demented.
Yeah,
she had to be reminded every day of who she was.
Really? She got to that point?
Oh, yeah, I think, I don't know completely, Vanessa. I'm sorry. I was speaking kind of hyperbolically, but yeah, like she was put in a place for that particular, for people with dementia. So,
that's so hard.
But like my friend, well, not really my friend, but somebody I used to know, she used to say of her father that he went the same way, that he was the only one who was lucky enough not to have to remember what an asshole he was. It's you want to have sympathy for her because it's sad and it's scary. It is scary the way that I've seen the way not her person, but I've seen that. It's very scary. They get very scared. But
yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't. Ronald Reagan, he lost his fucking shit too.
Yeah. No, it definitely happens. I feel bad for all the Sea Org people who have aged out, who are like in those homes now. That must be super crazy.
Well, we don't take care of elderly people in this country very well across the board. And the really sick part about Sea Org people is that they spent their life making no money. So even whatever Social Security they get, it's going to be the lowest. They're going to get the least possible care, and there was no opportunity for them to make their own money so that they could have a better retirement. That's supposed to be apparently that's supposed to be the goal, is that you learn how to do something so you can make enough money so you can have money to retire. I didn't know that that's what people do, but apparently that's what people do.
That's the dream.
I thought we were supposed to clear the planet and then money wouldn't matter anymore.
That's true. We are so theta. Our money doesn't matter in a cleared planet.
The most ethical group on the planet.
But then they are kind of conspiracy theorists about like financial things too. Like a lot of them are into like these financial people who say like what's supposed to go up in the stock market. Like, Scientologists can always turn a quick buck because they're trying to get money to the church.
Well, yeah, there was always the pyramid schemes. The Herbalife stuff. Yeah, Scientologists were always into the scams, always into the get quick rich schemes. There was a lot of paintings, selling paintings by roadside.
Selling paintings, exactly.
Anything.
Jewelry at Costco.
I did the paintings by the roadside. I sold churros at the Rose Bowl.
You sold churros at the Rose Bowl? Wow.
And I saw Pink Floyd, so
That's cool. That would have been an awesome show at the Rose Bowl.
It was the Division Bell thing. It was the Rose Bowl, or I think actually it was a bigger place than that. I'm trying to remember because I did work at the Rose Bowl a couple of times, but I think Pink Floyd was at an even bigger space, but I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, it was at an arena. It was in an arena. It was in a sports venue. That's how big Pink Floyd is. They arena rock. Yeah. Even the second coming of Pink Floyd, even the 90s revised Pink Floyd were very popular.
Yeah.
But I can't remember that arenas, song.
I just bought tickets to the Lakers game coming up pretty soon. They're actually having them go on the road and come to the desert for like a game or two.
Oh, fun. Oh, cool. Good for you.
Yeah. So I'm going to I love the Lakers.
Do you know why they're called the Lakers?
Because they were from the Lake of Minnesota?
Yeah, they're from Minnesota.
Originally?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Originally from Minnesota. No, I've heard people talk shit about this. Like, why are they called the Lakers? Because there aren't really many lakes in California or Los Angeles. But sports teams move. And originally they were from Minnesota, the land of 1,000 lakes. Also, what was the other one? Oh, this right here. Can you see that?
Yeah, the bear.
That is the bear from the California state flag.
I can see it.
And people say that, like, why is there a bear on the California state flag? Do you know?
Because we used to have a lot of bears before we made them go extinct, right?
California used to be bear country. Have we already talked about this?
No, I had to take a class called California Culture, and I had to learn all about California and LA.
And these are things really I hear cool. Like short-sighted people go, talk shit about. The bear is there because it used to be bear country. And the California grizzly bear, which I'm pretty sure is extinct because we killed them all. And it used to be an occupation. A bear hunter used to be an occupation. And Davy Crockett, who went on to be an American senator, that was what he started out as was a bear hunter. And that's how he got famous as Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. But Disney replaced his bearskin cap with a coonskin cap to gentrify him. But it was actually a bearskin cap.
We have a bear at my work right now. I work in the mountains, and we have a bear. Like, one of my coworkers was taking
It's a bear.
No, he was taking the trash, and he was very terrified when he came across a bear. And apparently, so we have to do trash in twos now and stuff at night because the bear is there, and it knows that there's food in the trash, blah, blah, blah. But apparently where I work is kind of like a place where people drop off unruly bears, like quite a few miles away, and then they end up wandering into our little town.
Oh, wow. That's weird. So it's people are actually like relocating. I was about to say, why are there bears in the desert? There shouldn't be.
Yeah, they like relocate them all to some kind of mountain situation, and then the bad bears come over.
They come down the mountain to go, hey, human garbage, yummy, yummy. That's how we domesticated wolves into dogs. They came for our garbage, and they stayed for the love.
Yeah. I sure love dogs. I know that.
I do too. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with my dog anyway. But that's just what I don't even know what that is. Where is she? Oh, she's passed out. Good girl. She's figured out to sleep through these. She gets really annoyed when I'm talking on this, and she'll go and mess with stuff. But right now she's asleep.
Oh yeah. She's like, Dad, pay attention.
She hates it. She hates it when I don't pay her attention. The world is run by anxious dogs.
Mm-hmm.
It's time.
This is interesting. You find that Mormons get scammed by pyramid schemes too. The excessive trust mixed with Christianity that is okay with wealth, not pious poverty. Yeah.
Yeah, I really have a problem with how did American Christians flip that? Like they actually they actually now identify God's approval with wealth. Like it's so bizarre to me because it says right there, no, that's not good. But their materialistic God. And it's all money grabbing. Like there was some preacher who had like not just 1, 2, 3, but wanted a 4th private jet. And Joel Osteen is most famous for me as being the worst perpetrator.
Oh, totally.
And it's just and they're milking the gullibility of the Christian thing. Like, trust me, I'm Christian, you're Christian, we all believe in this thing. And all the while going on about how the outside world is so scary and out to get you. Same thing, same culty kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And he sucks them in with all the sweet talk.
And they're so overly trusting, for whatever reason. They're just open and trust people, which is sad because that's what Christianity does teach you, to trust your neighbor. And
that was the thing with even with George W. Bush. Like George W. Bush was like cool with Vladimir Putin because Vladimir Putin had a crucifix on, so he's Christian.
Oh my God.
Like there was a whole thing about that was weird. I was like, no, that's not. But they do that. But we did that certainly.
Cool. Yeah.
How trusting were we of other Scientologists? Here, you're a Scientologist, hold my kid. There was that guy that. Anyway, how trusting were we? You're a Scientologist, so come on in, ransack my house, defile my children. Hide your wife, hide your kids. Here comes the Scientologist.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, cool, they're Scientologists? Then they must be great.
The assumption that they were great, they were moral, they were ethical, and somehow preternaturally like more capable than others. I can trust my kids with you because if the house catches on fire, you'll miraculously save them with wings.
Wings
of
OT powers.
With your OT theta wings of power. Yeah, flowing power right at my butt.
Imagine being that delusional. It's probably fun.
I've said this before. Like, it certainly must be easier. I mean, I don't know. No, it's not fun. Maybe I was never that delusional, but I was pretty delusional.
Yeah.
But it certainly seems easier for people who really, really just like have faith in something, that the idea that it's always watching and looking out for you, and God will never give you more than you can handle, that kind of bullshit. But it's not true. And then when it fails people, nobody ever wants to take responsibility for that. Nobody even wants to look at it. That's the worst part. That's what faith does. Faith forces you to deny when it doesn't work out. Right?
Yeah.
And that's what fucks
that happens.
People up. I think the crux of it. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, who makes 100,000 grifting on YouTube? Is
I
that
feel
you?
like this is no, it's a Jeopardy question. I feel like she's talking about Reese. Because she has a dead ex and an ex she found out. But I've been reading those Reddit boards, so you know.
Hey, I've never heard. A bear is a name for a gay guy with a larger build and usually a beard. Is that right? Yes. I think I've heard that before. And then the better one is the otter. That's my favorite. But let's not talk about that. Oh, we did the Mormons scammers. Mormons are into scams too. Yay.
It's wild. Do you have any other friends that were raised in cults? Because I have a ton. It's really weird.
I knew a guy called Arjuna, grew up on an ashram.
Yeah.
That was kind of like that. And he was also molested. He also had fingers up the butt. Something about those gurus. And I don't know, not really. I want to say I connect a lot with Lapsed Catholics. Certainly. There's certainly some overlap there.
Yeah.
That they were post Pius the 12th, so obviously not really Catholic.
The guilt and the shame are similar.
Oh, the guilt, the mea culpa, all my fault. It's all my fault. It's all my fault. I never thought anything else were true. Yeah. What other cults? What other friends do you have from cults? What cults?
I have a friend who grew up in an ashram, for sure. I have another friend who grew up Hare Krishna. And her father prays to rocks and talks to rocks and like is just a total out there dude.
I immediately think of that rock, the rock in that movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is like the most enlightened rock in the history of anything. So I'm like, well, if it was that rock, I could see where he's coming from. But other than that, that sounds like crazy talk, Vanessa. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then I have another friend who there was like this weird LA cult in the valley that was by the side of the freeway, and she grew up in like a tent there. Like I don't know what it is. It was all random that we ended up.
I think we all knew quite a few people who like grew up in communes. Like, I don't know if that counts as cult, but it's kind of
I mean,
different communes have cult.
Yeah.
I think we all knew people like that. I think all the Hawaiian people grew up in communes. I'm not sure.
My sister-in-law grew up in a commune, but I wouldn't necessarily say it was a cult, but it was definitely out there.
It depends on the commune. But there certainly was a lot more alternative living in California. There still is, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Apparently they're giving grade schoolers transgender operations in California for free.
What?
Oh, I don't know. This is something Donald Trump said. I'm making fun of Donald Trump. Because when I was a kid, the school nurse could barely give you an ice pack and a Band-Aid. That's all they had for you. But now, so much more.
No, it's pretty much the same. It's probably even worse. They can't really do anything for people.
Well, they can. We just don't want to. It's not cost efficient. It's not cost efficient. Doing the right thing is expensive.
Yeah, this is interesting. One of the things with faith is that they cement a version of psychology, and that isn't supposed to evolve. Yeah, exactly. Where the science of psychology does the work in progress, understanding which is correct. Yeah, and real science is always changing. It's never like set. You're always trying to either prove it or disprove it.
Well, they think they got it right. They think they got it right. So what is there to evolve, you know?
Yeah.
And that's always the difference between religion and science. Like science evolves by, you know, in its design. By design, it evolves. Religion, of course, is not supposed to, because everything that came out the first shot was supposed to be holy and glorious.
Just like when it came out of LRH's mouth.
Well, that's the difference. That's what I like about Buddha is that when the Dalai Lama was asked if science contradicted Islam, or rather Buddhism, he said, well, then Buddhism would have to change. You know what I mean? Like he said, if you could prove it, then we'll have that conversation. But you know, I'm waiting. But I like that. That's the point of it. It should, you know, if you can't, you know, if it doesn't do you any good, you know, throw it away. Oh, that's funny. I think that was an accidental segue.
To your song or what?
Yeah.
I knew it.
If it don't do you any good.
What is today's song called?
It's called Baby Blue. It's called Baby Blue.
All right. Well, let's get ready for it.
We're going to do this song. All right. Sorry about this, folks. They make me do it.
They make me. I make him.
What were you saying?
Oh, I said I make you.
Oh, yes. She's wicked taskmaster, this one. Yeah, the trauma dominatrix. She's the ethics officer.
Yes, call me an ethics officer. Call me sir. Okay, have fun.
Just a page, turn a phrase, another shout in the dark, just another day in the life of paying every price of every life so far. What a fool making up the rules still. Always caught off guard. No cheaper thrill than rolling down the hill, winding right back where you start. With the moon and me, we might have stayed here forever, waiting for the sun to return. Here was something there besides another piece of blue sky. And if it don't do you any good, tear it out, throw it down. And if it don't do you any good, what's the use hanging round? And if it don't do you any good, hear the voice of your sound. And if it don't do you any good, but to keep baby blue, heave on now. Here's the moon, refusing to move like some ancient work of art, staying right where anybody might to even look the part. When the stars can't see, even when enough together, even to remind On every ocean's divide, need to decide. 'Cause if it don't do you any good, what's the use in hanging around? And if it don't do you any good, tear it down, throw it out. And if it don't do you any good, hear the voice of your own doubt. And if it don't do you any good, but to keep baby blue even now. Na 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 na. Oh, 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 oh. But the moon and me, you know, we might have stayed right here forever, waiting for the sun to return with something there besides another piece of blue sky. And if it don't do you any good, tear it down, throw it out, throw it out. And if it don't do you any good, what's the use in hanging round? And if it don't do you any good, hear the voice of your own doubt. If it don't do you any good, but to keep baby blue even now.
Beautiful.
Was that good?
Oh, you muted yourself. Still on mute. Let's see. I can unmute you, I think. I think you have to hit unmute at the bottom of the screen.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
The mic fell over and unplugged completely, so it was beyond a mute.
It was an extra
gotta be
mute.
tragedy. Tragedy. I like that. Do you any good? I think that's hooky, right? Isn't that hooky?
Yeah.
Can I get Chapo Round to sing that song? Think I get Chapo Round to sing that? You won't commit to a candidate, but maybe she'll sing my song. No. that's the goal, is to try to sell these songs to pop stars.
Oh, that's cool. Like a songwriting gig.
Well, Linda Perry, you know Linda Perry, she was in a band called Four Non Blondes, and she wrote that What's Going On? What's Going On? And that's what she does now, is that she writes songs for other artists, including, well, Pink. She wrote a record with Pink. But she wrote the Christina Aguilera song, I'm beautiful no matter what you say. Words can't bring me down. I should do a cover of that.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Elvis Costello already does a great cover of it, though. But it's a fantastic song, you know. And what was I saying about Christina Aguilera? Oh, Linda Perry. Yeah, Linda Perry is just a hero of mine, and she's married to what's her name from Roseanne and the Connors. There's two of them. There's Melissa Gilbert. There's Melissa Gilbert, and there's a sister, and I can't remember which is which, but the younger of the two, who carried on the Connors TV show after Roseanne Barr got canceled. She's married to Linda Perry of Four Non Blondes and co-writer of Misunderstood by Pink, amongst others. Sarah Gilbert. There she is, Sarah Gilbert. And I watched the Connors. I like that show. It's cute. Jay Ferguson was on that show. And Jay Ferguson was actually we went to high school together, technically. But he was on a TV show called Evening Shade with Burt Reynolds. So he was just enrolled. He never actually came to school. But every once in a while he did. There are a few of these celebrities that used to show up at our high school every once in a while.
At Hollywood High.
Yeah, the world famous Hollywood High School. I'm sorry, yes, I went to the world famous Hollywood High School in the heart of Hollywood, right behind Jimmy Kimmel's studio, where Jimmy Kimmel shoots his show. Every once in a while, you'll see there's a high school behind that studio, and that's the high school I went to. For real. It's growing up in LA.
No, I know. There was a stabbing at the In-N-Out next to it just this week.
There wasn't an In-N-Out there when I was going to high school. Damn it, I'd be so much fatter if there were. There was an Arby's. There was an Arby's across the street. Is
the Arby's is still, it's there, but they closed down and now they're doing like pop-up restaurants out of the Arby's because they don't want that sign to go down.
Oh, they're trying to preserve the signs because the Arby's are going out of business.
But they knocked down the building that the old spaghetti factory was in. That's completely gone.
Oh,
yeah. I know. Sad. It's apartments now.
I think I know what is probably the In-N-Out because it was a Rally Burgers or a Carl's Jr.
Oh.
And it was just a drive-through, right? It was just a drive-through. I have a funny little story about that drive-through. Right before I came out to New York, when I was still in LA, and I was in the middle of a nervous breakdown, and I was just
as one does.
I was just staying at home, and I was surviving mostly on weed and vitamin water. And every once in a while, I'd venture up to the Carl's Jr. to get some meat. And I was up there one day, and this is like when I really grew my beard out, and this is when I was really like fucked up, but it doesn't matter. But I walked up there one day, and I looked like a bum. I wasn't even a bum yet, but I already looked like one. And I ordered my food, and you order like in the one window, and then you go across the driveway, and then you pick up on the other window, right? And so I ordered my food, and then I go over to the other side, and there's a gentleman standing there waiting for his food. And he's an African-American gentleman dressed in a particular way that was particular to the time, which is a three-piece suit, like jacket, vest, tie, fedora, wind kick shoes, and everything's in a slightly different shade of blue.
Nice.
Do you know what I mean? Like the whole outfit is blue, but every piece is a different shade of blue.
Monochromatic.
And it's a great look. And I'm there looking, admiring him. We say, have a little nod. How you doing, man? How you doing? You look good. Thank you very much. And then the kid in the window brings up the food, it's a lot of food. He puts up this big giant, obviously he's getting food for a bunch of people. They got a party going on somewhere. And the guy, the black man, steps up to take his food, and the kid in the window pulls it back and then looks to me to verify that it's his food and not mine. And not only is it his food, he's been waiting, but look at this man. He's dressed like $1 million. You think he's going to try to steal some fucking Carl's Jr.? Are you fucking kidding me?
Stupid.
Anyway, there we go. There's some.
That's ridiculous.
Is that white privilege? The kid's looking at me like I know better who ordered what. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm starving and poor. I'll steal his food. Are you kidding? And he's looking at me.
What city were you in?
That's what you're talking about, which is probably the In-N-Out.
Oh, at that Carl's Jr.?
Yeah, it was that spot.
I think the Carl's Jr. is still there, actually. It's on Sunset, yeah.
Yeah, Sunset, and is that Highland?
Yeah, it's that weird one that has like 2 lanes, or it used to have the 2 lanes.
Right, it's just the drive-through. It's built like a Rally Burger. It was supposed to be a Rally, because Rally Burger and Carl's Jr. are the same, but we have Carl's Jr. on the West Coast. They have Rally Burger or Checker Burger out here on the East Coast. But it's the same company, same food. And that's what that's supposed to be. It's supposed to be just a drive-through. There's no indoor seating, right? It's just a drive-through. It's just supposed to be traffic. Yeah. And the Rally Burger is motor themed. That's the
actually, I think the one you're talking about turned into a Chick-fil-A. Because that's what's right there.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I just figured that would work for it. Because In-N-Outs are often drive-through. I don't know. Right
by Hollywood High, Kevin Hart opened up this dope-ass drive-through called Hart House, and it's vegan. And they just shut down out of nowhere. It was so good. You could drive through and everything is vegetarian or vegan. It was so bomb. I've always wondered, why don't they have more of those?
Is Kevin Hart vegan? No, that needs rebranding. Vegan stuff needs rebranding, because when vegan stuff first started coming around, it wasn't very good. It's a lot better now. And what I always resented about vegan food or vegetarian food was it was always trying to pass as something, like pretend to be pork, pretend to be beef. And I feel like it's gotten over that. Like it's not really pretending to be anything now. It's like, this is the vegan food. It's different than the other food. Although I know that Burger King now has a vegan burger, right? I mean, if it's come a long way.
Yeah, they serve the impossible, and I don't eat meat. I'm a vegetarian, so for me, I love to have the replacements. If they can actually taste like a replacement, it's like really helpful.
Is the Impossible Burger the one that's like made like by like cloning, like genetically cloning? Meat.
Yeah.
Stuff? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
But it's not alive. Like you're not killing
Right, you're not killing an animal. Exactly right.
Yeah.
It's like, or it's like sourdough. You have to start with one animal, but like, you just have
my friend dropped off half a loaf of sourdough because we have a really cool spot here, and she's like, I can't eat all this sourdough. You want some? Like,
I miss sourdough. They don't have sourdough in New York. They really don't. Every once in a while, somebody will give you something that's supposed to be sourdough and it's not.
Really?
There's a sad thing is Burger King tries to pass something off as sourdough. It is not.
Yeah, that's true. They do. That's a
very California sort of arrogance. Like we know what sourdough is. Thinking.
I lost you now. Now you look frozen, Mr. Daniel. Oh, there you are.
I'm not frozen. I'm just very, very still. I'm hunting rabbit.
Alex says sourdough is huge where he lives in London. Lots of avocado toast and poached eggs. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but see, that's what happens. All these things are the funny little things about my youth, like pomegranates too. They all got hip.
Yeah.
Avocado, sourdough, pomegranates. Those things are ruined for me because these fucking hipsters. But a pomegranate was like a toy and a treat when I was a kid. And
I love a good pomegranate salad with some pomegranate seeds on it, maybe a little goat cheese. That's delicious.
You can put goat cheese on anything. I love goat cheese.
Yeah,
goat cheese just anything. No. That's good.
I made mac and cheese from scratch last night, and tonight I'm gonna make zucchini boats.
Zucchini what now?
Zucchini boats. Like stuffed zucchini.
You're stuffing your zucchini. Is that some sort of sexual innuendo? I don't get.
Oh, it sounds like it, but it's really just some cooking references.
Alex, what do they call? Wait, what do they call them? Or what do they call cucumbers in England? They call them something else.
Now that's a 2D flow. I think you're trying to hit on Alex.
I'm gonna write it my CSW. What is the word I'm trying to think of though? It's an English word, but it doesn't matter. No, I don't want to know about your zucchini, Vanessa. That's a little too intimate. That's a little too I think. No, this reminds me of a friend of mine from junior high, and we found his mother's personal things, and she had a vibrator and a plastic zucchini or a plastic cucumber. Like it wasn't even. It was just.
Oh my god!
Cucumber. Oh, I shouldn't tell that story. That's so rude.
That's dirty. Alex, I know you're just looking for a wife because you want to be American. Don't even play. Okay.
Aubergine. The aubergine. That's the eggplant. Yeah.
Hello, Crafts, Chats, and Catastrophe. I hope you're feeling much better than you were last week when we saw you.
Yes, she is. Yeah, she has to be on the TV and you on the phone. Yeah, that's she was great. In the hospital, Crafts and Chats, but I think she's out.
Yeah, I know. I hope you're doing better. It's nice to see the same people and get to know people too.
Getting to know you, getting to know all about you.
A lot of people who watch SPTV are from cults themselves, like all different ones.
I guess that would make sense, right? And yeah. She got home yesterday. There she goes. Don't let them stop you. Don't stop you now. We're having such a good time.
Yes, we're having such a good time. The seasons are changing. Are you excited about New York in the fall?
Yeah, I like it when it chills out. I like it a lot more. I hate the summer. I hate the humidity.
Yeah.
And the dog doesn't like it. She hates the cold. She gets very cold, but we have to get her a sweater. I need to get one of these Amazon wish lists so I can get the dog some stuff.
Dude, I have so many dog clothes. My dog has her whole dresser just for herself. Like, it's ridiculous.
She just needs a coat. She needs a jacket. Keep her warm.
Yeah.
I don't even know though. I see those dog jackets. I see those dog jackets. I think, do those even keep them warm? Because it's all they're exposed underneath, which is really where they get cold. But
it definitely helps because when it's hot out and they don't want their clothes on, I notice they'll start like panting and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It definitely insulates them. Yeah, spooky season. What are you gonna do for spooky season? Are you gonna be anything for Halloween?
I'm gonna be a grungy bear. Maybe a grungy bear bum from New York City. No, yeah, I'm in costume every day.
I understand that. So am I. I'm in costume as like a normal earthling.
Yeah, right. I'm in cosplay as a human. Totally.
Yeah.
What is this? There is a 25-minute summary of reality TV show from 20 years ago. I'd love your opinion on convincing groups. I can't post links, so search Space Cadets, the most expensive hoax in television history.
Interesting. We'll check that out.
We'll check that out. And we'll get back to you in 20 minutes. No, I'm kidding. He said it was 20 minutes. I've lost my page. I'm on the wrong page now. Can you see me? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I can see you. You're still being filmed.
Oh, no, just open a bunch of windows. Darn it. Because I'll forget that. Space Cadets.
Yeah, the most expensive hoax in television history. Have you ever seen the documentaries about like the what is the cult where they were going to go off in the robot or with the UFO, but it was
the guys with the tennis shoes. The guys with the tennis shoes. Yeah.
Dude, that documentary is crazy. Like watching them be Heaven's Gate, watching them be so elated that they were gonna die and go on
those people level. You talk about delusion, you talk about and those were like and a lot of those people read like the people that just don't understand being human, so they were like, I think those were autistic people who were like, I don't like being a person either. So let's not do that. Let's go be an alien. I'm like, I'm not kidding. When I was in high school, everybody was obsessed with getting abducted by aliens. It was like, we'd rather get abducted by aliens or turned into a vampire than keep living as humans.
Mm-hmm. Plus, someone gives you some thick-ass Nike Cortezes and tells you to put them on. Like...
And you get some killer shoes out of the deal. Fuck yeah. Oh, my God. And that guy, he had the crazy Xenu eyes, the leader of their little...
Marshall Applebaum.
Oh,
he's wild. Yeah, it actually started with...
I had a dentist called Applebaum.
Joe and T, and the woman was the one who actually was the leader, and then she... passed and he became the crazy leader.
Yeah, Star Trek, very Star Trek. They were super Trekkies. But that's what Trekkies are. That's where we used to spot Asperger's back in the day before we knew how to spot it. White. Okay. I was like, I had a dentist called Apple.
Oh, Apple White. Yeah.
But Apple White.
Marshall.
Of course, it was Apple White. Mm-hmm. I see what you're going for, Marshall.
There's still people who maintain that website and consider themselves part of Heaven's Gate. Like it's still around.
I'm so sorry for them. I'm so sorry for their loss.
Pretty nutty. Yeah.
I mean,
and imagine the parents, like your kid just goes to California and joins up with some weird cult. Like it definitely could have been a Scientologist. It was so similar. Like the look they have in their eyes are like cracked out Scientologists who just have like huge auditing wins. Oh no. You got frozen again. There you are.
Oh, there I am. All right, you're back, but you're back. I hear you now.
Mhm.
Right, we shouldn't make fun of them. What were you saying about the Heaven's Gate?
Their eyes, when they were talking about just how happy and ecstatic they were, they literally looked like a Scientologist giving a speech at Flag. Like,
I wonder if
fucking beta, man.
I wonder if there was a connection, like they'd certainly had and of course Charlie Manson made those eyes famous too.
They were castrated. Yep, they were. Well, it was about the same time people were joining the new religious movements and they were like really into some weird shit. The people had just like walked on the moon and aliens were everywhere.
Aliens are everywhere, walking on the moon.
So nutty. Yeah, they're the ones who drank the literal Kool-Aid, though.
Well, I used to joke all the time that we all could have ended up in Jonestown. Those are the ones that drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, those were the ones that in Guyana, literally, right?
I thought they were. I forget what. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, Guyanese, New Guyana. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, they went and they created their own little society in the jungle somewhere, and they thought they would be safe. And I don't know.
Yeah.
They couldn't defend themselves from themselves.
Cults are super dangerous.
I remember, it was like Vice magazine or something did a whole thing, did like a movie where it was like a found footage movie about a cult in Africa or something. But it was not real, I think. It was just supposed to be kind of like, it wasn't actually Kool-Aid, right? It was Flavor Aid.
Yeah, Flavor Aid. I've heard that before.
That's true, yeah. It wasn't actually Kool-Aid, it just became Flavor Aid.
In Hollywood, they have this museum called the Museum of Death, and they actually have the Nike Cortezes out, some of them, the real ones, and the outfits they were wearing and stuff, as well as Charles Manson's poems and all sorts of weird shit.
Well, fucking Guns N' Roses did a cover of a Charles Manson song.
Of course they did. That's silly.
And as they were slipping out of relevance, they were like, let's do something weird. So they did.
I think I'll be this too, Alex. He says, this year for Halloween, I thought I might cosplay as somebody who is mentally stable and has no issues or red flags, just because I thought it'd be fun to experience that for a day. You know what? I think that's a great idea. I might try that too.
I did that in the 3rd grade. I'm not kidding. Like, that's how fucking weird I was. That in the 3rd grade, I dressed up like a normal person, like a man with, like, I had a bat, like a briefcase and a tie and this whole thing.
Oh my God, like a business
my costume, man? Yeah, my costume was normal man because I wanted to know what that cool. Was. No, that's crazy, Vanessa. That's fucking insane. That's not cool.
Maybe
that's
I'll just be a normal girl for Halloween.
Apostle Alex is trying to get codependent with you.
What?
Matching costumes. That's the first step.
Codependency is the first step to codependency. We'll both act like normal people from across the pond. How about that? That would be really great.
Can you dress like a normal person, Apostle Alex? I always think of English people as being normal.
Yeah, me too. I think of them as being normal as well. Except for that they do love their tea.
Oh, that's normal. That's what's wrong with Americans. We drink coffee.
We definitely do.
I don't drink coffee. I take tea, my dear. This has been Sting. That's like the 3rd Sting reference I've thrown out there so far.
You're on a Sting day, huh?
I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
Do you ever do karaoke?
Yeah.
I bet you're good at it.
No, I hate karaoke. Alex worked for Sting. I saw Sting. I didn't meet him or nothing, but I saw him in New York City, and he had these 2 just gorgeous women on each arm, one on each arm, and he was just strutting.
Oh, that's cool.
He was just feeling it. He was like, I'm a rock star. I was like, yes, you are.
Yeah, for sure. Sting is definitely a rock star.
Is that right? They drank coffee first. We know it's funny. I watched a really long 8-hour documentary about coffee once, and coffee's been around for a long time. It's very ancient. A lot of people have been drinking coffee for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's originally Ethiopian, I believe.
I just met a roaster who gave me some beans that I'm gonna try out. He roasts out here in the desert.
Is that what the hipsters are doing now, making their own coffee? Last time I checked, they were brewing their own beers in the basement. And now
that was like a decade or two ago.
Oh my God,
they're on coffee beans.
So uncool. I'm so falling behind now. It's uncool. When are hipsters going to make their own chocolate? I'm sure they have. They did make their own sourdough. That was a thing. I did know that happened.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the thing. That was during the pandemic. It was like really popping, the sourdough.
He's still mad about the tea we wasted in Boston Harbor. Well, you should.
Sorry about that.
No taxation without representation, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Your little King Chuck was being a crazy person.
Yeah. Have you been to Boston? It's really dope.
No, I'm supposed to go to Boston. I don't want to go to Boston. Don't go back to Boston again. I'm sure it's super cool. All that history, right?
Yeah, the buildings are so old. Like everything here was built in the 1900s, but they were settled there way before.
Oh yeah, I've been to some of those ancient cemeteries that they have here in New York, but even our ancient is nothing compared to what they got in England. In Europe, everything's much older, much older.
Yeah, that's true. But New England,
it's such a joke even as we talk about New England, right? Because there's lots of really old stuff in New England certainly compared to California.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But, it's still not even that old compared to some of the real ancient shit. I want to go see some of that druid shit. That's some ancient shit.
Yeah. We went to, and I say me and my dog, we took a boat from Boston over to Salem, Massachusetts, and they have a graveyard of all the old deaths and witches and things. And there was one from the 1600s, and it said she was not oppressed to death. That was the method of death.
There was a movie. There's a guy, he does these weird movies where he's like, there's the witch or something, and it was like recreating like that time in a very, very like detailed way. And there's a guy who's just like, they pile rocks on top of him until he just suffocates or dies from being.
Yeah, like he was stoned to death.
No, he wasn't even stoned. Stone's like when people chuck stones at you. They just kept laying heavier and heavier stones on top of them until the weight finally killed him. I think that might be what it is, being pressed to death. No, it's it's insane how crazy and superstitious they were. They were so afraid of whatever, the devil and evil forces, demonic forces.
Yeah.
And now we are the demonic forces. Yes.
Did you read about that woman who used the suicide pod? I believe it was in Denmark, and she was a US woman. And now there's a whole investigation.
Wait. What is a suicide pod?
So it's like
is this like fast food Jack Kevorkian?
It's actually like pretty sick because it looks kind of like a spaceship, and you get in it, and like the one that they were showing, it was actually outdoors in nature, and it had like a glass cover so you can see out. But the whole law there, like you can have assisted suicide, like that's fine, especially if you have like a chronic illness or something, right? Like this woman had chronic pain for years, and so but you have to be, she decided she wanted to go, so it's turned into like unaliving tourism, right? So like they're just visiting for that, and they have to be the one to push the button.
Oh, the Christians are losing their minds over this, aren't they?
Oh, totally.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah, it's pretty next level though.
It's a little, I don't know. It seems a little, yeah, and as long you have to push the button or something. How does the pod actually do you in? Is it suffocate you? Is it gas?
Seconds later, you're suffocated to death. All the oxygen leaves.
But you can look at the trees.
Yeah. Sounds cool.
Wait, no, how does it actually kill you though? Because we have trouble with that here. Is it gas? Oh, it really does suffocate you? I thought we were kidding.
Gas. It's a gas. And then it like literally seconds later you are,
because they have trouble getting that done. Like in Texas, they half-assed a bunch of times recently, in recent years. and the gas or the injections, both. I'm not sure which they use or how it works, but I think it's ridiculous. That is so funny. That is, I mean, like, but it's
Isn't
not
that
funny.
next
It's not
level?
funny. It's next level, right? It's bizarre.
Yeah,
but I
it's
guess people
totally
have a
next
right
level.
to do what they want to do. Traveling all the way.
It's called the sarcopod, and it's it says it's inert gas asphyxiation.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
All right, here we go. Crafts wants to know. Serious question, she says.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to be discovered with all the fame and big money, or a steady working sing-songwriter who is well respected artist? I was saying this earlier, Crafts, that like right now the goal is to try to write songs for other people to sing. I have no interest in fame, certainly, but I would like to make a little money. You know, I don't like living in a utility closet. I feel like I should be able to make a living doing what I do and writing songs for, like, I would love to do, like, write songs for other people and then do like a Carol Carpenter Tapestry kind of record of my little like folky versions of those songs. I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to be a singer-songwriter. And somebody here was this, what Treasure Block says, there's hanging trees in Boston Common Park.
Yeah.
There's a hanging tree in Washington Square Park that I love to point out to people, and it looks like a hanging tree. It's clearly like the oldest tree in the park. It looks like that tree that haunts the kid in the movie Poltergeist that breaks into his window. It looks like that tree looks like it was grown in hell. And that was the hanging tree back in the day. I heard a story about someone who ran a laughing gas pipeline into the house from a storage shed in their garden and accidentally unalived themselves. Well, you know, they used to have this thing called the Darwin Awards, where like if you do something really stupid that you die from or renders you incapable of procreating, you get an award when you do it to yourself. Like there was a guy who put bullets in the car to replace the spark plugs or something, ended up shooting himself in the dick.
Oh my God.
Yes, it is the northwest corner of Washington Square Park. That is correct. Treasure Boat.
Oh, that's funny. That's wild. You guys know the same trees.
Well, I used to follow the tourists, like when they would do like tours. I used to follow those people around and comment about stuff. Like I was part of the tour. You get a homeless bum to hang around with you during the. I
bet it's just like Hollywood, where they have people like that all the time, right? Doing those tourism tours and shit.
Yeah. I was supposed to do a homeless mustard walking tour. That was one of those things
that would be funny
on sale. And somebody bought it, but she was disabled, so she never actually got to actually do it.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah. But I don't even remember anything anymore. Let's go around New York. I can tell you stories about weird things that happened there. I don't know, like I would say, what do people really want to hear? The stories of DVMC?
I mean, it's probably more interesting than just a regular tour. You're like, and then this is where this one crazy fight happened.
This is where I got my ass whooped. And this is where I was.
This is where I used to sleep.
This is where the police kicked my guitar into smithereens.
It's so expensive in New York too. I'm sure it's very not even easy to be homeless because things are so expensive.
Well, because New York City is so affluent, though, people are willing to give stuff away in a way that you don't probably see in other places. Because especially food, people want to feed you. There was a lot of, people do, and there's a lot of services in New York too that I think is probably better than most places.
Yeah, true. That's nice. She said, I suspected my stepsister once removed does events in New York City. She knows lots of musical industry folks. I would so love to share your work with her if you would like. That would be cool.
Yeah, that's why I need like kind of an A&R person. Those are the people that put these things together.
You know, my ex-boyfriend does A&R in New York. I should introduce you guys.
Oh, there you go. Or like I was talking about Linda Perry. There's another guy, the guy that was in a band called New Radicals in the 90s. And they had a hit with a song called You Got the Music in You. Don't look back.
Don't let go.
Yeah. That guy, right? So he quit doing that. I think he didn't like performing because he quit doing that. And that's what he does now is he writes songs for other people. He writes songs for movies. He wrote a song for Adam Levine of Maroon 5. He won an Oscar. So that to me seems like a cool way to go. I'd love to write songs. Or even that Rainbow Connection song was written by an actor who also writes music.
Yeah, I know a woman who made a career doing that. She just wrote for others. She was her own little pop star, but she wasn't quite making it, and she was selling her songs.
I think that's the way to do it. I don't know. I don't want to go on tour. Yeah, homeless person complained when you got him. Well, you got him the wrong sandwich, man. So that's on you.
What the fuck were you thinking, Apostate Alex? You gotta get the right sandwich.
It was a song, Alex. It was in a movie, and I don't remember the name of the movie, but I'll tell you, it starred the English chick from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and the little guy plays the Hulk in the Avengers movies. What's his name?
Okay.
I forget his name, but it was those two.
Interesting.
That sounds familiar, I don't know who that is.
Maybe you need some kind of management who can
Keira Knightley, yeah,
hook you up with those gigs.
I guess. I mean, I feel like what you're supposed to do is build your own brand. Like that's how you do it. Like trying to be an unknown person, going to people, going, "Help me become known," is one thing. But making yourself known in some other way, and then going, "Hey, can we put this here?" That's a different way to go. And since I am already homeless mustard, you know what I mean? Like I should be able to use that for something. I should be able to use that as a utility. I certainly could go if I had something to sell. I could certainly go and bug Opie of Opie and Anthony. I'm sure he'd have me on his podcast and promote me if I asked. He did a thing. I saw something recently where he got a question about whatever happened to homeless mustard. So they remember. Yeah, they remember me. That's not I'm gone but not forgotten in that world and that domain, as it were. And I think
I would love it if you wrote a book. I think that would be really interesting.
Gotta write a book. Do you know how much discipline it takes to write a book, Vanessa?
Yeah.
Dear diary. I even thought of a way to open the book, because one of my earliest childhood memories was recognizing homeless people under the overpass on Vine off of Franklin. Do you know what I'm talking about? So they had just built that. There's a big storage utility thing, right?
Yeah, right across from Cafe 101.
Right. So over on Vine, and you go down that block, and there's a church at the end of that block. But most of that area, there's no houses or whatever. So it was always a spot where homeless people went. And I think probably
it was ghetto down there. I remember that.
And I remember walking down that block with my mother when I was a very small child. And all I understood was that I didn't understand homelessness, but I understood that they slept outside because of the cardboard and stuff, right? The way they were set up. And I was like, and that seemed really intriguing to me. I like that idea. And I was like, I wanted to go talk to them, and she wouldn't let me. And I used to think about that when I was homeless. When I was years later, I'm actually homeless. Like, oh, that's so funny. Like I was drawn to it. My mother used to complain about that.
It's definitely a lifestyle. I mean, people definitely choose a lot of times because they get so used to the lifestyle too.
Yeah, but it's also like a choice between the smaller bullshit and the bigger bullshit. Like sometimes it's just easier to be, to rough it than to deal with whatever crazy shit is in the life you're kind of stepping out of, as it were.
Yeah. There's a lot of pressure in life to pay bills and pay mortgages and pay jobs.
I guess what I know is more kind of extreme situations, people running away from real situations that are more severe than that. But I suppose there are people that just don't want to live regular life. I don't know. That
was the big thing in Echo Park for a while. There were a lot of teenagers who were choosing to be homeless. And they were trying to hang out with the real homeless people.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of that. There was a certain amount of that when I was homeless. There are these kids from Long Island who would come and hang out, and there's a sort of pretension to it. And then there was the gutter punks in Tompkins Square. They would always try to go home with those guys. It's so funny. They thought that we thought we knew they weren't really homeless. Like you could always tell. Mm-hmm. And then the young guys were always trying to like scam their way in back to go home with them, like so they get go home somewhere and clean up.
Wow.
The dog is getting anxious. She's chewing on things.
I think it might be that time. I have to go do my homework. Ma.
He says, wait, Alex, gets the last word here, I think, right? What? It's like petty criminals. Often people steal just so they go to prison because they get a roof.
Yeah. No, it's true, though. That happens in California all the time. Because we don't have like enough homeless shelters and stuff. A lot of people want to go to jail just for literally a place to sleep for the night, and like
some people go back to jail for the sex. Not for nothing. That's a thing too. I don't know. As I understand it, all the jails are so overcrowded now anyway that I don't even think that's even. That's a Kurt Vonnegut story too, where the world is so overpopulated that prison is the only place that's safe anymore.
Our birth rate's down though. Apparently the number that we're supposed to have for society to have enough people who can take care of the older generations and all that, an average woman is supposed to have 2.1 children. And in America, we're under 2. We're like 1.5 average. But in countries like the education levels are not as high, it goes up and up and up.
Yeah, that's true. Only stupid been around the world, and only stupid people are breeding. I don't know. That's the sad part, but I don't know. Birth rates is such a funny thing to me because I remember I used to think that meant something, but usually they're talking about economics. When you need a certain birth rate to maintain the economic structure that will then support retiring people, and we're not good. And in the conservative notion, they think that people should just deal with setting up their own retirement and they shouldn't have Social Security. I don't know. It's not even like, I don't want to say something as crude as there's too many people, but we don't know how to take care of people. And we don't want to, and we don't, it's just, you have to put expense, but it's all about the worth of older people. We don't put a lot of worth on older people in our culture the way that other cultures do.
For sure.
And the solution to low birth rates is immigration.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's always been the answer. And of course, the same people who bitch about
happily have 1.5 children. The half gets to live in England, but the full one has to live in America.
I mean, is this some sort of like, oh no, I have to have half a child? Is this some sort of dilemma?
I'll wave my magic wand and we will see everybody next week.
Bye. Oh yeah, I'm talking to John Poe on the go on Friday, and I promise to be
Friday night.
Yes, Friday, and I promise to be invigorated and entertaining.
Invigorated and entertaining. You guys better watch out.
I don't know.
All right, guys.
All right, darling. I love you. I will see you later. Bye.
All right. We'll talk soon. Bye, guys.